Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is obviously the Gone for 10 show. Round one, it's come, it's gone. We had an absolute golden point cracker to obviously start the round. We then had a major upset on the Friday, a major upset on the Sunday, and obviously a few close games here, a few blowouts, but we'll jump straight into it. Obviously, first up, it was the Eels 12, Storm 16. If you were listening to our match previews as they came out throughout the week, you will know bit by bit we were reviewing this game because we were watching it while we were recording. But obviously, we do have a competition going. It is 1 point if you get the team right. It's 2 points if you get the margin right. Obviously, I went 1 to 12 Eels, so I got a massive fat egg from this game. And obviously, Josh went 1 to 12 Storm and got the 3 points. So I think we were both in agreement that we thought this was going to be a 1 to 12, if not more, 1 to 6, which we spoke about off air. But what did you make of this? A lot of players missing. Munster getting injured. He went off for 20, 30 minutes. We were talking, is he going to come back? He's now going to miss a few weeks. Xavier Coates goes off for Melbourne. He's going to miss a few weeks. Madison didn't play. Sean Russell didn't play, obviously, for Parramatta. There was a lot of things up here, and I know you want to talk a bit about the Mitchell Moses saga. Did that play into this? But first of all, this game, it felt like semi-finals football in round one. It had that energy. It had that explosion. And you know what? Like Nas said, that little wave he did at the end to what Parramatta fans kind of sets the scene now for the next 24 rounds. So what did you make about it?
Yeah, this was really tight contest. As you said, we were covering it in our match previews. It was good to see. I think I saw the last maybe 10 minutes of the whole game. Parramatta and Melbourne looked rusty, not rusty, but just everything wasn't clicking for both teams. You know, whether that's just round one jitters or the cobwebs haven't been fully shooken out. Yeah, it was good to see. Parramatta had a chance to win it a couple of times in Golden Point. You know, I think Mitch Moses lined up for a field goal. That sort of went the other way. But when it comes down to Golden Point, you should know who your number one, number two, number three field goal kickers are. And if you've got to play, maybe it goes to 30 because everybody's expecting it to go to Mitch Moses or vice versa or whatever it is. You've got to have a game plan. And I don't think it stuck. Maybe the Mitchell Moses saga, that his contract extension is playing on the minds of himself, coach, or other players. Or I think it was Monday he was being grilled about it. He's still got a year up his sleeve in his favour, so he's got until round 10 to activate that. Now I don't know why. Look, I don't know what he's willing to wait for, whether it's management or it's Parramatta players. I'm sorry, the board is waiting on. But if it's not going your way, why don't you just wait for another 12 months and activate your 12 months option and talk about it this time next year or maybe at the end of the year or something. I know fans are looking for a window maybe mid-year where you can sort of move players, but that's for another discussion. But other than that, what did you think about this great game to start off the season?
I thought it was an absolute cracker. Obviously, there were players missing. I think if Munster does stay on the pitch the whole time, I think Storm probably wrapped this up a lot earlier than what they did. Obviously, I went Eels with the upset, but in saying that, you're going to have egg on your face if you're going to ride the Storm out. So I'm interested to see what they can do, obviously, now with the next few weeks without Munster. But for this game, they held their composure. They stuck in that game until he did come back on. And ultimately, Harry Grant, I think, was the difference, especially with that final try to take, obviously, the game in Golden Point. Now, I think my biggest question to you here is, obviously, Storm put Munster back on. We spoke about it. We said how it was a fracture. There was a risk of infection. They got him back on. He's now out for multiple weeks. If you're Bellamy, you're sitting up in that box. I know you've got 20 round one games straight. Are you risking putting Munster back on for that game, given it could have made it a lot worse than what it was?
Yeah. Reports was it was compound fracture, which as soon as you hear compound, that's bone breaking skin. Then it heard it was just a fracture. Then I heard it was just a hairline, whatever. look, you need 2 points no matter. I think it was more of a discussion between player and coach, and I think they were both in agreement that Cameron Munster needed to be out there, and they've gone with it. They've taped it up. I don't think you can do no harm. Like, just douse it in alcohol, any betadine or whatnot, wrap it up and hope for the best, because I don't think it's going to get really infected unless dirt was really getting in there. But look, they got the Dogs next up. I'm just really quickly looking at that. Followed by the Titans, followed by West Tigers, and then to cap it off with the Raiders in round 5. So you could probably do without him, but in saying that, I don't think they have a lot of depth in the 6 role. Obviously, they moved on Cooper Johns and other alike half players, so it's going to be a tricky one for Melbourne.
100%. Obviously, like you said, they don't have, on paper, the hardest results. We don't know how those teams are going to operate all year. I think the Titans had a cracking game this week, which we'll speak about, but on paper, even without Munster, they should probably be winning more than those games and losing. But we are going to